guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Finally I get to do this, and I know it may look like I've taken my sweet time, but guys, sometimes life happens. You set up for point A, you find yourself at point D, and you're like, wait, how did this happen? But I'm glad that I finally get to do this. But before I get into all that, my name is Renji Stella, a media personality, a tour consultant, a baker, a voiceover artist, an MC, a lover of love, lover of people, lover of God, love to travel, music, adventure, art, and this channel is going to be able to reflect just that. Now, if it's your first time here, please subscribe, share, like, comment, because I want to hear from you. And to my 26 or 28 subscribers, I appreciate you because I know that I know you personally. So thank you so much. I know for certain that at a certain point we shall look back and say, do you remember her, how she started with 28 or 26 subscribers, and look where she is. I believe that, and I actually say it into the future that this space will grow and it will be impactful to you and I. Now, earlier on I talked about how you can start, settle for point A and end up at point D. Guys, what happened was, initially, the idea for the video and why I said you need to subscribe because your name could be mentioned is because I was putting together a wedding guest list. Now, before you get carried away, I'm not engaged. It's an idea I got from a friend of mine who is getting married. I've been helping her put together a few things here and there. And it just, I just started thinking to myself, wait, what would I do if I was getting married? Who would I call? And all those things. And guys, when I tell you that... First of all, I said, you know what, I'll name 50 guests. I ended up with 70 names, but even then, after 4 videos, I had forgotten people's names. I was forgetting people on the list. It was a mess. And I just decided I'm not up for that kind of drama. I do not want people saying, hey, so you mean, Stella, you wouldn't invite me to your wedding? I'm like, no, I'm not ready for that stress when actually there is no wedding yet. So I decided to move along with another idea that came to me in mind, because when I was putting together the list, everyone that I was considering was for a reason. There was a story, how I met them, where, how, who, and all that. And it led me to this place. Guys, do you know that thing of give people their flowers while they can still smell them? I wanted to take this opportunity and do just that. There have been people who have blessed me in my life, and I feel like I could use this opportunity to, just shout out to them and just be able to point them up. And I'll start with a friend of mine that I met in high school. Actually, we met maybe not in high school, but I'll just stick to high school as how I know him. Guys, when I got to campus, my parents, or guardians actually, my guardians could not afford tuition like university, so I went to an institute, and while there we were paying about 400 or 600k, and for those of you who know Ugandan shillings, you understand that money. Now, it wasn't a lot, but my guardian at the point could not afford to pay for it, at least entirely all at once. So we used to do it in bits and pieces, in installments, and that meant that all the other requirements were taken as a luxury. So I was renting also a house of 100k, and it was a tight time, very, very, very tight time. So that is where this friend of mine stepped in for me for things like dinner, those things that women need monthly, transport, all those small other needs that were not catered for by my guardian at the time. Charles Sechitende is the person who stood in for me, and I just want to say thank you, Charles. We went through a lot together as friends. I remember one of the things that, 2 things that I will say. One time we are walking from his workplace in Wandegeya to home, because of course we couldn't afford to spend like a small money you have on transport. So because it was a walkable distance, I was staying in Nauklavie and he works in Wandegeya. So we're walking home, guys, they snatched my bag. And Charles, you know how you would think a man will be there to support you too, to maybe run after these thugs. He did not. They stole my bag, and Charles was just even just thinking about it, it's so funny. Oh my god. Charles, do you remember that? But also the other thing that I remember is we used to walk from one day to town on days when probably I was going to do something in town, and we never used to take a taxi. And what happened was we used to buy sugarcane and we could walk while eating. To date, I feel like those are some of the happiest memories that I have, and if I could, I would still do it. And when you find me eating a sugarcane while walking to town from one day, please just either join me, but do not be against, because yeah, it was a time in my life. So Charles, thank you. To date, he is still one of my oldest friends. Moving along, so I was fortunate enough to get a job while I was still at campus, and my first job was at Channel 44. I had a show called Let's Talk Church. It aired on Sundays, and I'll be honest with you, all the people that I met at Channel 44 were very supportive. They were loving, they were there for me. Everyone was, to be honest. But the person that stands out for me, and one that I would love to give flowers, is Saul Molindwa. Saul Molindwa was my producer at the time, and I remember at first when they assigned him to me, because I knew someone else and I wanted that other person and not Saul, but they ended up giving me Saul, and it was the best decision ever, because Saul was so good. He was so mature, even spiritual wise. He was really good. He helped me, but Saul moved on to be a personal friend, and he has helped me through some of the darkest times of my life. So I love you, Saul. You know that I do. He is one of the funniest people. We are always laughing just thinking about him. I know that he's going to make fun out of this. But also some of the honorable mentions that I would want to talk about during my time on Channel 44. Nixon Molo, who was the HR at the time. I love you. I miss you. Thank you so much, Nixon. He helped me with news writing, but also he was like my accountability friend who tells me, girl, what are you doing? Who are you with? What, all that. So he was more for the accountability. But also I want to say thank you to Moses Molindwa, the person who actually gave me the job and, took a chance on me when I didn't know anything. So thank you so much, Moses, for that. Then also I want to say thank you to Paul Luaga. He used to do business news. Edwin Mohomza, the one who was doing news. Mercy Sembatia, to date, she texts me like a daughter, a sister, a friend. So thank you so much, Mercy, for that. Erios, there's Man Issa. Each and everyone at Channel 44 was so loving and supportive. Edwin Mohomza, thank you guys. Thank you so much. So I do appreciate you. Now so that was the time. In 2017 I left Channel 44. I was not fired. I left, and I hit rock bottom in that same year. Maybe in another video I could talk about that time of my life. Maybe, I'll see. But I'll tell you guys that when I hit rock bottom, it was a very tough, dark time of my life. And I remember reaching out to everyone in my contact list, telling them I need a job. Everyone. And that is where my third person on this list comes in. His name is Eric Ntalo. He was one of the people that I told I needed a job, and he was one of the people that God used. Not actually in 2017, but in 2018. When he got to hear of an opportunity in tourism, he sent me the thing, he sent me the contacts, and that is how I actually joined tourism. Eric Ntalo, thank you. You will never know how much you saved me when you gave me that contact. You will never know how much you blessed me. You will never know. The right word is saved me, because I was on a thread. Like I was hanging on by the smallest thread. I was about to give up. I had given up. I was, guys, when I say rock bottom, it was bad. It was really, really bad. bad. But also, not only did he connect me, he was there throughout, all the appointments. When I went through the interviews, he was always checking on me, praying with me, hoping that I would actually go through and get the opportunity. And he kept on telling me, hey, I know this will be a good opportunity for you to date. When he finds me, he tells me how proud he is of me. Thank you, Eric. I cannot put it into words, but thank you. And I'm glad that God chose to use you to help me during that point of my life. And just some of the people that I want to say thank you to while we are still there, the people in tourism who have held my hand. And I just wanted to start with my colleagues at the time. Joining tourism, I had finished studying journalism. I didn't know a thing, guys, a thing about tourism, not anything, not even the difference between a chimpanzee and a gorilla, nothing. The big five, nothing. The national parks, nothing, guys. I knew nothing. And yet this team of people helped me. Number one, actually, he's also on my list, Isaac Bala Bisowora. And I had to write your full name right there because Isaac, you were like a brother. And I feel like God set you there for the time he set you there to just help guide me. He was more like my guiding light. He helped, teach me. Guys, man, there are things you can talk about. Like, okay, not now because it will take me away from what the video is supposed to be like, but being in that workplace, especially with the lack of knowledge, was not easy. And Isaac, at the time, he was the operations manager, and he helped teach me, he helped train me, he was just there. And sometimes at work you need a hug, and he was the person to give me a hug. But also he introduced me to what is this thing called, I'm forgetting. But yeah, he was able to help me not only at office, but also out of office, to be able to make friends, to grow and all that. So Isaac, you get your flowers. And I just want to thank my team at Speak Uganda Holidays, then and now. Daphne for your tough love, Victoria for teaching me the difference between a gorilla and a chimpanzee, Mitzi for teaching me the big five, but also being able to learn from you to date. I want to say thank you to Ivan Revoza. Now, Ivan, you are something else. You are more than just a workmate. You are a true friend. You're one of the people that I think I would say have that purest of hearts. He has supported me. I thought I will actually maybe mention him in something else that he supported me with, because he's on my list twice. But Ivan Revoza, God bless you. Akusanyuse akolere byosinga okwagala. Yes. And I want to say thank you to Godwin Naturinda. Godwin is something else, a very funny guy as well. Jacob Senyonga, for him we get to even do photography. For those of you who follow me on Instagram, you know the guy that I tag at Jacob Senyonga at Snapshot. That is the person. Support him. He is very good. When we go into the wild or for tours, he's mostly the person I'm with, and that is how you get those beautiful pictures that you get to see on my Instagram. There's Angel. Angel is, my sweetheart, and because we have grown so close lately, we even have insider jokes of the grace is sufficient. So whenever we walk into work, we know that we are going to go through any challenge that may come our way. So I love you, Angel. Thank you so much for being very supportive as well. Jonathan Kajuri, I have no words for you. Ivna Adiose, thank you. Isabella, thank you. Charity, thank you. Gofrick, one of the funniest people, and I always say that probably he should have a speech at my wedding, because I would really want to see where he goes with it. But team as a whole, I do appreciate you. With my boss, of course, who I cannot mention because he appreciates being private, but that whole team has really held me, not only then but also now, and more so now, because they get to have my back here and there. So I truly do appreciate them. And some of the other people that I met also in tourism, not only at my workplace, the people within the field itself, one of them being Donald Champion and the other being Charles Mwesigwa. The two of them, I will give them flowers as well. They were my first friends in the industry, and to date they've held my hand. One of the things that stand out to me with Charles, I lost my brother shortly after joining tourism, and he was there. He reached out. He didn't know me a lot, but he reached out. He was there, very supportive. He wanted to cheer me out. Charles, thank you. I give you flowers as well. Donald, to date, he is Boya Kumotima, very, very close friend of mine. I want to say thank you to Brian Ahereza. I want to say thank you to Yvonne Morio. I want to thank Anne Moronji. I love you. I miss you as my neighbor. I want to say thank you to Barbara. I want to say thank you to Fiona, my roommate. In tourism, I've made several friends. There's Medi. There are different guides that, are so close. One of them being, I call him brother, David Mukwaya. There's Junior. There are so many people. There's Jotham. My goodness, there are so many guides. There's Innocent Mogofu. All those people, really, I just want to give you flowers because you have blessed my life, and I just thought that I should mention you and say thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Now, moving along to the next person on my list, that is my big sis and my mom. I know you will wonder, why are they coming in now? Why weren't they the top on my list? I must say, family can be complicated. And to be honest with you, I wasn't always close to them, I wasn't. But during that time of my life in 2017, when I hit rock bottom, my relationship with the two, my big sis and my mom, it grew. And my big sis, I have two, both of them, I love them. Joanne, I love you. But right now, I just wanted to give the flowers to Bridget Nantume and my mom. And the thing about Bridget is, I remember sitting on her floor in her home with her husband and sobbing, guys, sobbing. And for my mom, she was right here at my place, and I sobbed as well. And I feel like until you've come to a place, until you get to a place where you can lay it down, where you can actually cry in front of someone and just tell them it's too painful, I feel like I cannot do this. Until you've been to that place, you don't know what love is. You don't know what being loved is, because in those moments I felt like my mom and my big sis had me. They had my back. And I want actually to add my brother-in-law in that same breath, because he was right there while I was with my sister. And since then, from that point on, they've really held me. They've, been praying for me, being very supportive. So ladies and gents, I want to give you your flowers, and I thank God for you. I love you so much. My sister, I thank God for you. I thank God for you, Bridget, like so much. You have no idea. We normally don't talk about these things, but yeah, there you go. And I know you didn't expect to be on this list. And even as I wrap up, I want to wrap it up with the people who supported me during COVID. So during COVID, I kinda was laid off from work in tourism, and that's how I actually got into the media shortly after. And I'm so grateful to King of Radio, because he gave me that opportunity. He sought me out and said, hey, there's this thing here. So King of Radio, thank you so much. And the whole entire team at Spirit, my producer, my co-host, those guys have been there for me. But during that period, actually before I joined TV, I started my own business in bakery. I started baking cakes, daddies. I actually had outside catering as well, and that leads me to the first people on the list, the ones who helped me during, or the ones who supported me during COVID. I wanted to start with the group of people who supported me with the service of outside catering food. it wasn't an easy task, but I thank them for taking a chance on me. And this is the Bidopa group. And Bidopa happens to be a group of the people that I went to school with in primary school. People I went to school with them, and these are some of the people who supported me. Thank you so much to Andrew Morenju. I appreciate you. Thank you to Peter Nimusima. Thank you to JP, not only with that, but also he's one of the people who, supported me with cake, I believe 2 orders if I'm not mistaken. So thank you, JP. I love you, silly boy. Then there's Kaya Timothy. You've been very supportive as well. The whole entire group. But I also wanted to highlight these 2, Jude Molindwa and Rachel Nabona, simply because we call them Salongo and Nalongo, and these also got to support me personally with daddies and all that. Thank you guys. Jude and Rachel, you mean a lot to me. You have been very supportive friends. I thank you for that. But I also want to say thank you to Vincent. Vincent is I met Vincent through that friend of mine called Charles, and Vincent has really been a very good support system. But also the other person that I want to say thank you to is Awan Sentongo Ahmed, and I hope I have that name right, because sometimes when you call people Medi, you don't know their full name. So Sentongo, thank you. With daddies, that one supported me to that dot, week after week. If I'm not mistaken, Manja no Manja. But also I have Madrin also really has been very supportive. That one to date. Stella, when are you baking? So thank you so much, Madrin. Fifi, thank you so much. I want to say thank you to Ivan Revuza in this same group, as well as one of the people who have helped me, rather supported me with my own personal business of Stella Bites, Zach 40, and the team there at Pure Love Uganda. Thank you. I also got to go there and do some training. So thank you so much. And to say thank you to Josephine, because Josephine is the person actually who trained me. Josephine of Joffy Bakery. Thank you so much, Josephine. And I think, honestly, as I wrap up, if I'm to give flowers to people, I will give flowers to the people who support me on Code Green, who support me on Spirit TV. Those people who in the morning you wake up, whether it's on Facebook Live, on YouTube, you know yourselves. One of them being Dennis Omoding is one of the people who, always watch the show. Ivan Revuza. You see why I told you Ivan is just one of a kind. He's on my list for the 3rd time. I want to say thank you to Vincent as well. He's one of the people who tell me, you know what, for me, you are my determinant. Before I head over to work, I have to tune in the morning. Thank you. Joan Daniela, you also get to support me. I want to say thank you to Dixon. This one, wants me to, I used to shoot small videos on my status telling them what is happening, but also leaving questions. He is pushing me, saying, hey, where is it? And I thank everyone in my life. I thank all my friends, all my family, for just being supportive, being loving, and being kind. I love kind people, guys, because how the world is, we need more of the kind people. But also I want to say thank you to Ben. I want to say thank you to Roger. I want to thank Derek. These are the people who make me laugh, and sometimes that kind of laughter is needed. I'll leave my video at that. I get to give out flowers to all of you that I've mentioned here, but even if I've not mentioned you, and you love me, you encourage me, you support me, I send out prayers to you. I pray God will bless the works of your hands, will bless you and your family, and you'll see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living all the days of your life, in Jesus' name. And that is where I'll leave this at. Bye until next time.